What's up, YouTube? It is Cloudy and the No-Name Nimbus back for another vlog. If you're watching this, you have arrived to the Cloudy Vape. And with my vlogs now, I'm going to be incorporating the No-Name Nimbus, which is also my brother. And yeah, these vlogs are more just like conversational pieces. There'll be some giveaways. There will be a giveaway today for sure. It's going to be great.
Yep.
And it's like, acknowledge me when I say something good. Yeah, so let's just go straight into the giveaway because that's probably the most coolest thing. So let me grab the stuff. First thing we're going to be giving away is this Sigelli Mini right here, which is very nice. It probably won't focus, of course not, but it's a Sigelli Mini, brand new, never been opened. It is the black one. And yeah, it takes 118,650, and I have a review, and I'll put a review down below. I've already reviewed this, but I have one I want to give away. Some of you may have saw my lip sync video. Basically, that's kind of what this giveaway is going to be. I was approached by Banzai Vapors, and they said that they really enjoyed this writing prompt giveaway I did, the one for Christmas, basically, just write a Christmas story type thing. So they said, hey, we'll provide some e-liquid if you come up with a clever giveaway. So I thought I really enjoyed the lip sync videos. I enjoyed everybody's lip sync videos because just letting loose and just being silly is great for your heart. It's good for life. Absolutely. Just chilling out. So what we're gonna do with this is the first place winner is gonna win this Sigelli Mini and 120 mils of whatever flavor you want from Banzai Vapors Max VG line. So there's great flavors. I reviewed all those flavors if you want to see them, or just search Banzai Vapor, link in the description. So first place, Sigelli Mini and the 120 mil of whatever flavor you want, nicotine preference, all that good stuff. And then the second place winner is going to win a 30 mil from Banzai Vapor, and the third place winner will also win a 30 mil. So the first place winner is definitely getting hooked up way more than the second and third. But, you know, I always like to do multiple winners because I really, whenever I used to enter giveaways, I would hate, you know, just being like, well, there's, you know, 1 in 1,000 chance I'll win this. But, you know, if there's 3 winners, there's a better, at least somebody, you know, a few people will get stuff. So what do you have to do? Simple. Okay. My Instagram is @CloudyVape. @CloudyVape. You go on there. Do a video. If you don't know how to do a video, just look up how do I film a video on Instagram. Definitely first follow me on Instagram. Follow Banzai Vapors. You can also, I believe they're just Banzai Vapors, or go to the description. I'll put a link to that also. And just make a video of you lip syncing to whatever song you want. Whatever song. And just put a lot of power and energy and just get into it and have fun. And so Abby Vapes and Cheexie Vapes, because they also did lip sync videos, and I haven't asked him yet, but I'm going to ask him. I'm going to ask Vaping with Vic, that crazy Irishman. I
love that guy.
No, not Irish, Scottish. Oh crap, he's going to hate me for calling him Irish.
Oh man.
Oh,
Cardinal Sin, dude.
Oh god.
Cardinal Sin.
Vic, don't be mad at me, man. I just realized that right when I said Irish, I was like, oh god, he's Scott. Oh god, he's gonna beat me. He's gonna beat me with his bagpipes. I'm just joking. That's me.
In all fairness, I did think he was Irish, but I'm sorry.
No, he's Scott.
Sorry.
See, I could be even wrong now. Maybe he's not a Scot and he is an Irish.
The bottom line is we're two asshole Americans
we don't know the difference, right? But because he did a great video too. I loved his video. So I haven't even asked him yet, but he might be a judge also. So you'll have these other reviewers who have done these lip sync videos that will judge these, and basically it'll be, you know, most creative, most the kind of categories like most creative, definitely the most energy, how much you get into it and stuff like that. So you probably, I would say 90% of the people watching this video is like, wow, that's the stupidest giveaway ever. I don't want to do that. I don't want to look like an idiot on Instagram. So whatever, but it really doesn't matter. If you want to win a Sigelli Mini 30 watt, 120 mils of whatever flavor from an awesome company, and then 230 mils or 130 mil for each second and third place winner, this is a great thing. So all you got to do, like I said, I'm kind of ranting, but make a lip syncing video you want, or whatever music you want, however long you want. If it's just 5 seconds, if it's the whole duration that Instagram will let you. Tag me, tag Bonsai Vapor, tag Abby Vapes, tag Cheexie Vapes, and I don't think Vaping with Vic is on Instagram, but if so, I'll put all of the details for the giveaway in the link below. And as always, 18 and older only, U.S. residents only for this one at least. If you're under 18, like my description says, go play Hello Kitty Island Adventure, get out of here, and, this is just what I would like my channel to be. So, anyways.
I'm going to put in a special request. I want to hear Katy Perry Fireworks, Justin Bieber.
Justin Bieber.
What's that song? Baby, baby.
Oh, is that Ludacris also?
Yeah, that's the one.
Oh
that's
my
the one. I
gosh.
want to hear that one. I'm putting in my own requests. You don't have to fulfill them, but
Fireworks. I think if we could get,
I do that one.
if we can get a very large
right
bearded man to do fireworks,
Absolutely.
that would be the best thing ever. That would definitely be. And I think I didn't bring my vape over here. I did not.
Man.
Oh my gosh.
We're gonna have to put it on pause.
No, it's all good. Whatever. There we go. I'll take his vape. I'm just like talking so much. I'm getting all.
Need the vape.
So, yeah. So that's a giveaway, which I'm super excited about, and I think it'll be cool. But just have fun with it. Just have mucho fun with all that stuff. Let me grab this right here because this is one thing I wanted to talk about. I had my other stuff with me, but I didn't bring it. And now I just feel like a big dum-dum.
You want to throw that in there?
Yeah, for sure. So I picked up a few things from UD, and he's used it a little bit, and I've used it a little bit, but
pretty sweet. I dig it.
Yeah, both of us got UDs, first UDWs, and it was just they were just kind of weird.
Yeah, I remember some of the first UD atomizers I got. I think actually it was the UD3 was the first
The
IGO
W3.
Yeah, that's what it was. The IGO W3.
Yeah,
It was the first one I did, and then I had that. What was that tank? It was the UD.
the AGA T.
Yeah.
That was a T3 or T2 something.
Which is just to say they've come a long way in their designs.
Yeah, definitely. They
designed it better.
They had pretty average designs, and their new designs are pretty cool. I mean, a lot of people are doing the same exact thing with your sub tanks or your rebuildable sub tanks, like the Atlantis, the King sub tanks.
Yeah.
You have this big sub tank craze coming out. So the Goliath, which I thought I brought, but I guess I didn't. It's basically, think of the Goblin kind of, but you can remove the tank, so you can basically separate the tank and the build deck at the same time. So the Goblin, which is really annoying. That was the same thing with a lot of Genesis, the Agas.
Yeah.
You would have to dump your whole tank just to fix anything.
Yeah.
So that
was
cool.
originally the thing that deterred me from using the tank, because I think I first started out trying to use some of those rebuildable tanks. But yeah, that one, if you're talking about the one you showed me earlier, that thing is pretty sweet. You can just pull that out of there, and it's designed very similar to your standard drip tank or drip tip, and so you can rebuild on it easy, like you said, without dumping anything out of it. It's pretty sweet. I dig that.
What do you think? But what do you think about something like this? Which, if you look close, basically this is it's a huge ass bore. It's a big bore, really small airflow compared to the mutation that I have. But you would think right away, because this is such a big, the drip tip's so big, it wouldn't be good flavor. But
I actually thought that put out some really good flavor when you were showing this to me earlier.
yeah, especially for being so. We don't care if we get cooties from each other.
I think it reminds me a lot of the what are those custom?
Oh, the Chuff Enough?
The Chuff Enough tips. It kind of reminds me of those. I remember trying a lot of those at the Austin vape convention. That's kind of what this feels like. But the fact that it's kind of fixed and sturdy, I think is actually pretty sweet. It's got a big draw hole there.
And it's weird, they have this spiral going down the tip of it. which is like it gives us this more. It's supposed to give this crazy, whatever. You know, like I never really believed that type of stuff because it's like, how can you really say this is gonna create a wind turbine or something?
Yeah, I mean, it's not like it's got a sister booster fan in the middle of
like,
it.
I don't know if you ever saw it. There's one called the Turbo, and it has a fan inside of it. It's been like this big joke because it literally goes.
Yeah, I was just thinking of one of those things, like a kazoo.
Yeah, but I haven't really looked much into that. But I was seeing people talk about that. It's just like
yeah. I think that seems kind of like kind of gimmicky. But
yeah.
Who am I? What do I know?
You're just a no-name Nimbus.
I'm just some dude.
You don't even have a name.
On a vlog.
Yeah.
I don't even have a name.
You're just moonlighting for me. That's all you're doing. What do you think about like so like there's basically I would say is a big discussion is so like we probably did a lot of dangerous builds when we first started going. Like we probably did some stupid stuff. Yeah. But luckily, we didn't have any like major close calls. Like we had a lot of hot buttons and batteries heating up. But what do you feel about like brand new people who are getting into this, able to get sub-ohm tanks that already have stock coils, but they don't have a safe battery? You know what I mean? Like, do you think people should start with like really simple, like a 1 ohm coil to get into it, or what?
Yeah, I think I don't want to call it common sense because it's not necessarily common sense. Like it's not that you just intuitively know that, but like I think it's best to start out with something basic, and as you start to conceptualize how the whole thing works, to kind of work up from it. I mean, yeah, like a lot of people when they get into really anything new, they kind of want to just go in all out.
Go hard.
Yeah, like just go hard on it, and it's like. The truth is, at least in my experience, and I'm not speaking for anybody but myself, but it's like if you start out with something basic, like you're still going to get a good vape experience. You know what I mean? It's not going to be as good as once you get it all ironed out and you can wrap coils blindfolded and be able to do it really really well and really easily. But yeah, I think that starting out with something simple. It's just a smart thing to do, and as the mods evolve, like the ones that we're using that have chips in them where they'll shut off. They've got overrides on them and stuff. Like I think that's a really good feature to add into it. Like I do remember one of the first e-cigarettes that I used was one of those. What was the brand? I don't remember what the brand was. It was like. E-Joy or something? Was it E-Joy? They were just like...
iJoy?
iJoy? Yeah, iJoy.
iJoy, is that it? Or Joytech?
Something like that. I know Joy... Yeah, Joy was in there.
iJoy, Joytech.
Yeah. But I remember, one thing that frustrated me is I got an RDA and I started trying to build on it, and I didn't have a tester to see what I was working with, and so I was trying to use the... digital screen on it to try and figure out just exactly what I was pulling through the coils, and it wouldn't let me do it because I wasn't building it right, so it wouldn't even let me really test it.
It didn't fire under like 1 ohm or
something?
Yeah,
it was something like that, and so like I struggled with that for quite a while, and that's when I just went back to using one of the tanks. And then eventually I think we had a friend that was doing it, and he showed us how to mess with some of those things, and then we just kind of took off with it, and we just kept bouncing it back off with each other. And I think you took it way further than I did, and I picked up a whole bunch of stuff from you and started using some of the testers that you had picked up. And once I had all of the parts in front of me, and once I had somebody else who was doing it, and I could see the way you were doing it, and I could see the way that a couple other people that I knew were doing it, it was a little bit easier to see it when you're actually, you can put your hands on it. I'm a little bit more of a kinetic kind of learner, like if
monkey
I
see,
can,
monkey do.
Yeah, if I can see it being done, then I can do it, kind of thing. But not everybody learns in the exact same way. Other people are extremely technical and can just read about it and conceptualize the whole thing and then just bang it out. Like I've known people who are really good with that kind of thing. But ultimately with anything, it's like you really got to think of the safety and the repercussions of doing something wrong.
I think that's the problem. Like they don't realize the safety. But like also, like you were just saying, like you went from like a little battery trying to rebuild, which works fine if you can build at a capacity that the battery can handle. But
yeah,
I think like what you're saying now is it goes back to like your clouds, bro. Clouds. Like you see your friends like, oh my gosh, he's blowing clouds now. I want to do it, or you know, even if it's like he has a small setup already, and then you see your friends building or whatever, and then you want to do it, and then you just try to go straight for it. It's like I feel like vape shops should educate just a little bit more, and it's hard to just rant about vape shops because you don't know everything about, you know, what they actually do on their sales, or you know, what they're actually in it for or whatever. So I mean, that's kind of like a rant in its own. But basically, I think if you're selling a sub-ohm anything, you should at least, you know, go through.
Yeah.
Which, like, I was talking to a few friends who work at vape shops, and you know, they have like a kind of like a bullet point list that they can go through once they build a RDA for somebody, or like if they give them a sub tank that has a 0.5 ohm coil. But like the thing I was going to talk about is like something like this, the one I'm giving away. You're maxing out at 30 watts, and that's about what 0.5 can run pretty good. You know what I mean? Yeah. Like in the bigger boxes, you're looking at, you know, we can run a lot lower because it's higher wattage. But people don't realize, I mean, you're getting these 0.5 ohm coils, which run decent on a 30 watt device, but there's some of the newer sub tanks that have 0.2 ohm coils.
Yeah.
Which I haven't even messed with those yet, and I know you haven't messed with those, but that's like getting to the point where like you need a pretty hefty battery. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's like you're kind of, in a sense, it's like you're skipping the whole learning curve.
Yeah.
And it's like, but at the same time, like, what if something goes wrong? And that's what it kind of shows with like that news article with the, you know, the guy used a hybrid. So basically, like, you know, no one knows the pin on the bottom connects straight to the top of the battery, and with like most sub tanks, because you have just that little pin with the grommet, the positive and the negative connections of the 510 hit the battery top at the same exact time, so there's no split, you know. And so like that was a big thing, and it's just like, so I don't know, I think in almost every sub tank video I've done, I've explained that to people. Don't use this on hybrids, you know. So it's like because the reason I say that, and other people say that now, like Matt from Suck My Mod says that, Ruby have said that, like, it's because we're not trying to be like a dick, you know what I mean? I think a lot of it, when I first started getting into this and I watched some videos, it kind of seemed like people were being kind of dickish, you know, like they're trying to not demonize it, but make it seem more complicated and scary.
There's this thing that we do, like, in so many different things, and like, you know, we grew up doing like trade skills, like, and I still work in construction trades, and I do, you know, a lot of custom tile work, and I do a lot of custom work, you know what I mean? Like, so I work with a lot of like power tools. I work with a lot of things that are extremely dangerous. I've known people who have cut limbs off and cut fingers off, and one of the things that's always got me, even in that kind of arena, is like, you know, you go into a tile store and you're trying to pick out some tile saw or something, or some tool to help you with what you're helping with, or what you're working with, and people will kind of, and I think it's kind of just sort of human nature, is people will almost elevate themselves by making whatever they're talking about seem extremely technical or niche, or like I have some really special knowledge kind of thing, and it's kind of this elitism sort of thing. Like, and that's, I know I've talked to you a lot about one of the reasons I hate going into a lot of vape shops. This isn't to just bag on every vape shop. I know there's great vape shops around. Like, but I remember going into a couple different vape shops, and like, even the people in the vape shop didn't know half of what I knew about it. And it's like, I'm not trying to walk around telling anybody that I know anything, you know what I mean? But I know what I know kind of thing. And I've just always found that people who like almost overcomplicate a subject in order just to sound smart, they end up, you know, kind of making, you make people feel dumb, and you make it feel intangible to people. Like, I could never understand this because this guy's standing here going on this diatribe about this, that, or the other thing. And that's not at all to like diminish the safety concerns of things, because it's like, I mean, I've trained people on the job on how to use certain power tools, and I always stress, like, you know, this isn't like just some annoying safety thing, like, you know, don't stick a wooden wedge on your skill saw guard. You know what I mean? Like,
keep it up.
Yeah. Like, don't try and just make these little, like, this isn't really. There's no shortcut when you cut into your femur. You know what I mean? Like, there's no shortcut when you cut half your hand off. You know what I mean? Like, you might think that you're being a little bit more whatever because you've taken a couple little shortcuts here, like, but in the long term, like, losing a couple fingers is not a shortcut for anything. You know what I mean? So it's like, if you think you're going to take some shortcut on something and, do something in some kind of dumb way and it blows up in your face, like, you didn't accomplish your shortcut. You know what I mean? Like, so it's like, I think it's important. It's extremely important, if not the most important thing to be safe about and really understand what you're trying to do.
Yeah.
But I think it's even more important for people, say like you and other YouTube reviewers who are reviewing these products and stuff. And like, I know I've talked to you about this, like watching your videos, and I've always thought you were really good with this. Is like not overcomplicating it in a way that just kind of makes you seem smart. You know what I mean? Like, and I think that people can kind of get carried away with that, even when they are really trying to just give some real helpful safety type of stuff. Is it's like, we really got to just try and convey things in an understandable way. Like, sometimes we got to sacrifice looking cool in order to do it. You know what I mean? If you can help somebody be safe, then, it doesn't matter if you sound smart doing it. You want to know that this person understands it and they're going to have a safe, enjoyable time doing what they're doing.
Yeah,
you know I
mean? Feel like it's hard sometimes when I watch movies back that I've done. Like, I don't want to ever sound like I'm, like I know more than people, because I hate feeling talked down to. I hate that feeling more than anything. Yeah. Even if it's something that I don't know a lot about, like if I go into a store and I'm asking knowledge about something, like I'm not looking at somebody to like look down at me like, oh, you're just a stupid person. You know what I mean? It's like, no, like talk to me like I'm somebody seeking knowledge, and that you have that knowledge, and just don't be a jerk about it. You know what I mean? Like,
well, it's like I walked into a vape shop here in town, and this dude asked me, like, I pulled out my, I think I was using that, I think I got it from you. It was a 22650. 26650. I don't remember what it was, but it was a clone. It was a copper clone. And the guy was like, what mod you working with, bro? And I was like, oh, it's whatever. And he was like, oh, is that an authentic? And I was like, no, it's a clone. And like his whole tone changes, like, as if I just walked in here with like whatever, and like, but I couldn't help but kind of just laugh at the dude. Like, come on, man.
About
like,
customer service.
Yeah, no, exactly. And so he kind of goes into, rather than like, hey man, I got some inexpensive authentics I could sell you, or hey, here's a really really solidly built clone, or a number of things this guy could have said that might have pulled me into wanting to buy something from him. I mean, I didn't go in there to buy a mod. I went in there to just check out some juices. You know what I mean? Like, but by the time he just even like said 3 sentences, I'm already ready to walk out of the store, because it's like, come on, dude. Like, first of all, I'm not completely ignorant to how this works. Like, just the fact is, I'm if I can get a mod that's a 1 to, or a clone that's a 1-to-1 ratio, and it's not like crappy built, and it's sturdy, and it's going to do the job, then I'll spend $40 on that rather than $400 for. And that's not to say that authentics aren't worth that. Like, but it was just kind of this way that like the dude started kind of trying to talk down to me about it.
A lot of that happens on YouTube also with comments and stuff. It's like, like help. I think like if you're gonna help somebody, and if you're in any position of customer service, whether it's vape or not, like you have your own opinions on things, and you have your feelings, like especially clone, authentic, whatever you feel about it, you kind of have to set that aside, because you're working at a business, or you're providing a service to somebody, and not everybody can buy authentic, or not everybody, even if they can, they might not want to, they might have the money, but they might be, really are really trying to budget and be like, no, I only want to spend $30 on this, and you're like, well, if you spend $25 more, you can get the authentic. Well, I don't want to spend that. So you kind of just have to deal with them, and it's hard, because sometimes it has nothing to do with a clone authentic. It's literally what they've set their mind to. Yeah. And you can't, once when you go want to buy something, you can't. Yeah. Sometimes salespeople can change your mind. Yeah. But sometimes they're stubborn. I know I am a lot of times. Yeah. But our video is about to shut off. So we're going to have a quick intermission, and then we will be right back.
Lasers on their head.
Did you hear Vern Troyer had a seizure at Comic-Con?
Yeah, man. That made me sad, dude.
Oh my gosh.
That guy, I like to...
We're back, by the way. We had a little intermission.
We're here.
Tinkle breaks and all that stuff.
All that.
Our camera only records for 30 minutes and then shuts off. So last vlog, it had this really awkward shut off. But it really doesn't matter.
You seamed it together pretty good because I couldn't even see where it
but see, I'm the paranoid one because I'm the one that's like, guys, we got to stop. We got to stop. And he's just like, what the hell are you doing?
Whatever, man.
Why are you acting like an idiot? Anyways,
it's just the camera.
Before we turned on the camera, we're talking about his name's Vern Troyer, right?
Yeah.
A little mini-me
plays
guy.
Mini-Me in Austin Powers.
Was it little person the right term?
I think that's the politically correct term. Yeah.
Because if you say the M word, that's disrespectful.
Yeah.
But
I like to go on Reddit every now and then, and that dude's always posting stuff on there, and he seems like a really cool dude.
On Reddit, he was like, somebody posted and tagged him or whatever and said that so-and-so just had a, basically Vern Troyer, Mini-Me or whatever, had a seizure at Comic-Con in Austin, right?
Yeah.
And so he messaged the guy back and he's like, I'm okay, guys, I'm okay, don't worry about me. I guess he got better or whatever. But
he posted a picture on Thanksgiving of him pulling a turkey off of his, he had like a little scooter. And he's like dragging this turkey up the driveway.
I love that guy.
Heavy rolling, dude. He posted that himself though, like nobody else.
I bet he probably watches our vlogs.
Oh, I would hope so. If I had the opportunity to hang out with Vern Troyer, I would do just about anything to kick it with that guy for a few hours. What a cool dude.
Speaking of another little person, which we're not bashing at little people. If you think that's what
I'm 5'6".
Yeah, if you think what the conversation was, what we were just talking about is how like we use Austin Power quotes like all the freaking time.
Yeah.
And then we were talking about, and then randomly I was like thinking Austin Powers, and I was like, oh wait, Vern Troyer just had a seizure.
Yeah.
But and then I said, speaking of other little people, I want to meet, because he did an AMA on Reddit, Peter Dinklage from Game of Thrones.
That dude
is brilliant.
That dude,
like, he just seems like...
He said some really profound things.
Just a good dude.
As a relatively short man myself, like, I've read some of the stuff with that and seen interviews and stuff with him, and, like, his integrity for himself, like even the whole idea that like, you know, he'd never take the leprechaun role in a movie, as he was like, you know, I want to be a serious actor, like, and then he goes on Game of Thrones, and that dude's like one of the most badass dudes on Game of Thrones. Like, let me tell you something, bastard. Never forget what you are. Then we'll never be able to hurt you. We're like armor, so the world will never be able to use it against you. Like that whole that line, like he's got so many lines in that where it's just like, oh man, dude, like you're just nailing it home. I remember he said a quote, like he was talking about like kind of the whole politically correct thing. He made a point about how, you know, like the dwarf or the short guy is still always the butt end of a lot of jokes. Like we've come really far, like socially and politically, as far as like, you know, being socially acceptable in with certain terminologies and stuff. But he really points out like a lot of the hypocrisy even in that, like, you know, we won't say this, we won't say that, but a lot of people don't have any issue making fun of.
Yeah, because I mean, we call
little person.
We call people who are not even considered dwarfs or little people, we call them midgets all the time.
Yeah,
like I remember growing up, you were shorter than me, and I know plenty of our friends called you a midget. I probably even called you a midget. You know what I mean? Like, and we use that word very, very loosely. And I mean, not to say we're now talking about like personal feelings, but it is, you know, it's a big thing. I mean, it's, you know. You can't really just stereotype. You can put it in there because it could offend them, you know?
Absolutely. Yeah. Yeah, and Peter Dinklage, like that dude, like some of the roles he's played and stuff. Like that
he just played. Did you see the X-Men he was in? He was like a doctor. I can't. X-Men: Days of Futures Past.
I think I might have. Yeah.
He was like,
I think I did watch
kind of the doctor who was trying to stop. I think he was trying to stop the mutants. I haven't seen it.
I also loved his role in Elf. when he plays the very serious like child author.
Oh yeah,
And he like storms out of the room. He's all pissed off, but yeah.
And he's like, "Oh, I didn't know we're Santa." That's horrible.
Yeah.
But he does a great job of just being so pissed off.
Yeah.
I love that guy. That was probably one guy I would love to meet. There was another actor that I was just thinking about that. I would love to meet that guy.
I just love to tell that dude, like, as a short man of short stature, above average height myself, like, I really respect like just the respect he has for himself and how he's used that to secure himself in so many serious roles that and just like he's pointed out very distinctly is like, you know, a little person like him hasn't been in these roles for so long. You know what I mean? Like there was in the filming of Dorothy
Wizard of Oz.
Wizard of Oz, the Dorothy's dog got paid more than all of the little people who played in that movie. Yeah, no, exactly. That's horrible.
The most. Like, you remember the most. We represent the
lollipop girl.
you remember that more than anything else. That's like the most memorable, or like, you know, Follow the Yellow Brick Road. But really, that first scene when they go into Oz, you have the lollipop girl, and that's
the dog got paid more than all of them.
Like,
that's...
You mean the dog's owner got paid?
Yeah. It's not like the dog went and partied out with 50 grand. Yeah.
I'm getting so many bugs right now. But no, he is really shorter than me. I'm actually sitting lower than him.
I gotta raise my seat up so that you don't look so uneven.
My eyes would be probably up here.
I'll be down here. If we were sitting at the same height.
You would be talking to like my chest. And that's horrible, but no, like I'm like 6'1" and you're like what 5'6",
5'7",
5'7". So like
on a good day I'm 5'7".
On a good day. Depends on how much water you drink. If you're buoyant that day.
How springy my shoes are feeling.
Depends on how much salt my body has. I don't know, man.
Growing up together, though, we were talking about this off of camera. Is growing up together, we had kind of a unique childhood in that we were both nerds. We were both homeschooled. We were both nerds. We had our gaming stations set up next to each other. We didn't have like this brotherly rivalry where like we were always competing with each other. Like I mean, we had friends of ours who
I think deep down we did.
Yeah,
like at the core of our being,
to a degree. But it was something to kind of push you forward in things. I think say even with gaming, we did kind of some pro league gaming back in the Quake days, and it was, you know, between the two of us bouncing off different things, like we just dominated that game. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
We went into the top US 3v3 team and stayed undefeated for, you know, months on end. And the way that we did that was we'd sit there and look at how each other are doing things, and we'd bounce things off. And I've always conceded that you were always slightly better than me. Like, in all honesty, like, it's like, wait, because that goes with my whole thing of, you know, if you want to get good at something, you put yourself around people who are better than you. You know what I mean? Like this idea that like I need to be the best in the room is how you make sure that you never exceed. You know, you never go further.
That's the best way to learn. Like the same thing, like, and not to say like, oh, we know so much about vape, like so much vape. Hold on, wait. Because I was just talking to So Much Vape. I don't think you've ever heard of So Much Vape, but
I've heard the name, yeah.
Yeah, but I was just on Hangouts with Dan from So Much Vape, and he was like, "Oh, you're doing a vlog? Give me a shout out." So shout out to Dan and shout out to Adam from So Much Vape. Just have to throw that out there. But yeah, like as far as like, and I've said this a bunch of times, like just bouncing off ideas, like if you're trying to get better, like say rebuilding or you're understanding vaping, like don't just go to vape shops and expect to gain knowledge. Don't just watch YouTube videos. Like there's plenty of Facebook groups. There's a new one that just came out called Right to Bear Ohms.
That's a good
definitely
name.
I know. Right to Bear Ohms. Like, oh my gosh, I'm gonna feel horrible. I can't remember the admin's name. Like, oh my gosh, I'm sorry if you're watching this. You know who you are. Taylor. Oh, I don't know.
No
Something
idea.
like that. And then also there's one called the Cotton Collective. Raylo Vapes is an admin. There's a few other admins. but like get into a community. If you're really struggling with rebuilding, if you're really like need help, or even like Ohm's Law, don't just depend on reviewers, because, you know, like me personally, I can't always get back to people. I try my best, but, you know, check out other reviews, but also try to get into Facebook. Maybe you don't do Facebook, make a pseudonym, you know what I mean, and just get into a Facebook group where you can be educated, or if you're super educated, get into those groups and help other people out, because like
Absolutely.
those communities, building those small communities is like so good. Like, and that's the thing, like what he was basically trying to say is like us growing up, we were always kind of into the same thing, not all the time, but like it really helped us excel through a lot of stuff, because even as something as silly as video gaming, but like we're nerds, we love video gaming, and
unabashed.
But yeah, I mean, like we've played MMOs together, we've, you know, raided together, we've done tournaments, first person shooter tournaments together, you know, when we were super nerds. Now we're adults and we have to actually live life.
Not be nerds in our spare time.
If you guys are gamer nerds, and if you guys play any cool games or anything, just comment below. Let us know what games you play. If you guys have ever played Quake 3 Team Arena, or Jedi Knight, Jedi Outcast, or Jedi Academy, definitely comment below and let us know what you played in, if you did play a lot of stuff. I know this is kind of random, but, you know, I think a lot of people on YouTube are probably nerds, because, you know, they're basically like...
Us nerds are more inclined to be on YouTube.
Well, they're like listening. If they're going to sit here and listen to us, you know, talk crap for an hour, they're probably nerds. I'm just saying, if you're watching us, you're a nerd. You know? I don't care how much money you make, what job you work at, you know, how prestigious your leather-bound books are. Like, you're a nerd. You're watching us on YouTube, and we're talking about vaporizing things, so you're definitely a nerd. I don't know. What do you think about that?
Well, no, I fully agree with that. Like what you're saying about like the Facebook page. I mean, even I have absolutely no issue saying that the only reason I have even the understanding of vape and rebuilding and stuff that I do is honestly because you took off so far with it. It's like I remember talking to you about it when I was first trying to do it, and you grabbed a hold of that and just went miles ahead of what I was doing. And I mean, I watch his videos to build.
And I was like, give me this.
Stupid. But it's just to say that, I mean, in my own life, like, you know, being around other people who, you know, I mean, even say, I was talking about doing trade skills. It's like, I grew up doing that with our dad, you know, and you've done quite a bit of that too. I mean, I still do that. But, I mean, I learned by being around somebody who really knew what they were talking about and could really pass on some real wisdom and information to me. You know what I mean? And you got to let your ego go a lot of times in order to really glean some real useful information. And so I think it's not only important, but it's, in my opinion, it's really the only way to truly master something is to put yourself around people who can, you know, pass that information on to you and teach you things. Like, and so it's like, you know, it feels good to learn something on your own and say, you know, I mastered this on my own, I figured this out on my own. But the point is to be good at something. Like, the point is to do it, like, say, e-cigarettes and mods and rebuilding atomizers and stuff. Get good at it and be confident with it and know what you're doing. And if you have to yield yourself to the wisdom of other people in order to do that, like, the point is to learn how to do it, not to be the best. Or
once you get good at it, or if you're at a level where you're comfortable, it's like pass that on and do it freely. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
Don't hold on to it.
Yeah.
Because, you know, really, and just slightly going back to advocacy, the more people we get getting off of cigarettes and the more people we get onto vaping, that's a bigger manpower. That's a bigger community, and larger communities make a bigger difference when it comes to voting and stuff like that. But I really didn't want to push too hard on advocacy on this video, but like it kind of coincides. Like, the bigger we can make this community and the more we can communicate to people, even if it's people that you feel intimidated to talk to, and like usually, you know, and not to downplay like people who are just in it for the cloud comps and cloud competitions, like, because I know plenty of people that do cloud comps and cloud competitions, and they're awesome people. They help out and stuff like that. But like, especially with this community, because like I was saying in the viewers key, like, we have such a huge pool of people, so many ages everywhere,
Yeah.
different walks of life, different religions, different cultures, and we now found this thing that we can find
some common ground.
Symbiosis.
Some symbiosis.
Is that the word? Here. Symbiosis.
Yeah, we're all working together and building each other
What's
up.
the symbology?
Symbolism. I think you mean symbolism.
That's what's that movie?
Oh, I almost want to just like, if you guys know that movie, comment below and I'll give you a free bottle of juice. If you know that movie, comment below. You know what it is, right?
Yes.
Okay, good. I don't want to say it and give it away.
We were talking about this beforehand. We grew up entertaining each other in the sense that we'd watch movies and cartoons and we'd sit there and do impressions and act it out and we'd get our whole family just dying laughing at how just relentless we were at trying to get people to laugh by doing little impressions and quoting movies and stuff that people associate.
And because we have that foundation, that's why we're talking for an hour, talking to a camera.
Yeah.
That's why we're that stupid.
We sit here and have these kinds of conversations off camera every time we hang out.
But they last way longer than that.
Yeah, way longer. We can sit here all day, all night doing this. So this is kind of this is us hanging out and talking about some stuff. So.
It's vape time.
Yeah, dog.
Let's connect our vapes.
Crisscross.
Sword fighting. That's horrible. Let's play sword fight. That's horrible.
Sword fight our vape streams.
Yeah, seriously. So the next thing I kind of want to talk about is like, what do you feel about your current vape setup? Like, are you? Because like me, I'm reviewing stuff quite constantly, so I'm like always kind of in the know. Not in the know, because there's plenty of stuff I have no idea, and people will ask me, have you ever tried this? I'm like, nope, never even heard of it, because there's just so much stuff out there. But like, I know you like to stay, like, you're very simplistic, right?
Yeah.
And like me,
Get the job done.
I would be simplistic too, but like I get things sent for review, or have companies ask me to review things. Like I was showing you that imp we were using, and then also this Goliath was. So like I have these new products that I get to kind of beta test in a sense, beta, batata, whatever you want. You say batata, you say batata, I say beta. I don't know, but so like what do you feel? Because like you're an everyday vapor, so it's like, are you just content with staying with where you're at? Are you, because it is a hobby to you. You enjoy it. You rebuild and you like it. But are you the type of person that you're just content with what you have, or are you really? Do you want to get into it more? Do you want to get more stuff, or are you just kind of like, I'm enjoying this. It's helping me stay off cigarettes, and I just enjoy it.
Well, honestly, like, say even with cigarettes, is I'm very much a person of habit. Like, when I find something I like, I tend to stick with it. And that can be good and bad, you know what I mean? But like, when I think it was once I started using it, like, I've been riding on this tugboat for like a year and a half.
You've been tugging on that tugboat.
I've been tugging on this tugboat
for a quick minute.
Yeah. And I'm always going for 8 wraps. You know what I mean? I always do 8 wraps. 24 gauge. Always the same build. Always like I get other juices, but I pretty much like my staple juice at the moment is Admiral Berry Crunch from Mount Baker. And it does what I want it to do.
And the price
is great. I can get a 234 milliliter bottle for like $39. I have to order that maybe like once a month. Which I mean, I was buying 2 cartons of cigarettes a month, maybe 3.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So I'm spending like a couple $100 easily every month on cigarettes. So like just the price cut of being able to do that is convenient to me. It suits my needs. Like because. Yeah, like you said, I'm an everyday vapor. Like, I don't smoke cigarettes whatsoever anymore. Like, and so, like, I work all the time. Like, I a lot of times I work anywhere from 8 to 12 hours a day. And so I just want something that's reliable, that I'm not going to have to sit there and tinker with. Like, and I know other people have kind of different settings and tastes and needs, and they like to explore a little bit more. I encourage that, and I think it's great. Like that's one of the reasons I love watching a lot of your videos. Is like you'll go way out there and do like like the Hendrix coils and
Clapton.
and the Clapton.
Hey man,
Hey, we're gonna
Jimi
make a
Hendrix
coil.
and
A Jimi
Clapton.
Hendrix coil.
It's gonna be psychedelic, bro. Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
But like,
it's a peace symbol. Coil. Jimi Hendrix.
dog.
Oh my gosh.
But like, it's just to say, like you've done a lot of different kinds of builds, and I know like I've even done some of the builds that you've done videos on and stuff, and just like, hey man, I want to see if I can do this and make it work well, and I like it. But like, I mean, with say doing a dual coil 8-wrap 24 gauge, like I can knock that out in like 5 minutes. You know what I mean? Like I grab a screwdriver, I grab some wire. Yeah, I can. I mean, I came home from lunch the other day, or came home for lunch the other day from work, and during my lunch break, I built a new coil, threw some new cotton on it. You know, I usually use the stove top to heat up the coils and clamp them down. You know, and so, but I've got that down to a point where I can do that in like 5 to 10 minutes, and so it's not like a big chunk out of my day sitting there messing with it. And I like, there's other people who make just like beautiful coil art, and they do these really awesome, intricate, and like as a tradesman myself, like I think that stuff's really cool just to look at it and see. Like, man, it takes a lot of technique and it takes a lot of coordination to really get some of that stuff down. Like a lot of patience. Yeah. And so like people who do that for like a hobby and for just their own enjoyment of like how cool can I make this, like totally respect that. I think that's totally awesome. Like, and if you want to do that, like go for it. You know what I mean? Like, build as many different kinds of coils as you want to try. Like, but for me, like to answer your question, like I really do stick with exactly what I always use, which is just a dual coil 8-wrap 24 gauge. Like I pretty much
tug on your tugboat.
I almost exclusively tugging on this tugboat, like
always tugging.
And it does exactly what I want. It's very satisfying. I always get like the volume of vapor I want to get out of it. Like, and when I start getting bad hits, and
should I call you Sir Tugs a lot?
Sir Tugs a lot
instead of
call me
No-Name
Tuggy.
Nimbus. Tuggy, cloudy and Tuggy. Tuggie.
Because you'll always see me with this tugboat.
I'm gonna call you Tuggy.
Hey, I'm fine with it. I got deemed with Nimbus. I was reading the comments and everybody was calling me Nimbus, and I was like, hey man, I can get used to this. Hey,
I'm a Nimbus.
As long as you associate the name with me, I'm fine with it. I don't care.
How do you feel about going from like, because you were exclusively on a mech mod, right? And the last one you had, you were using the Fuhattan that I had, right?
Yeah.
And then before that you had like the Stingray and the Sentinel, and you had a few different ones.
Yeah.
But like, do you like the double batteries like that?
I really like this.
Yeah.
And one of the reasons is because like I go to work, and I'd a lot of times take my battery charger with me.
You have to charge.
And I'd be charging throughout the day, and I'd be swapping them out every like 2 hours, 2-3 hours, because I'm vaping all the time. You know what I mean? And I work mostly in remodeling, like, so I'm not in like new construction, and so a lot of times I'm like in people's houses and stuff. And when I smoke cigarettes, you got to go outside and smoke a cigarette, and it takes a huge chunk out of your day. And so actually, even vaping has increased my production rate at work. You know what I mean? And so not having to sit there and mess with my e-cigarette and swapping out batteries and stuff, like one charge on two batteries ever since you hooked me up with this, like it'll last me all day. And that's like, to me, is completely worth it to me. And to me, it's just like, it really is an issue of like the ease of it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like I do want something that's as easy as packing a pack of cigarettes and popping it open and lighting it up. You know what I mean? Like that doesn't take me very long. Like,
I think a lot of people are intimidated by building because they think, oh gosh, it's going to take so long. But like there's times like I time myself to see how fast I can build stuff. Just for the fact that just to show people that once you get it down, like rebuilding is not as intimidating as it first is.
Absolutely.
When you first do it, you're trying to understand Ohm's law. You're trying to understand Ohm's. Like,
doing it,
and then when like all of a sudden you realize this whole time you've been excessive on your battery, you're just like, wow, like, oh my gosh. Thank Zeus that sent his mighty thunderbolt on me. You know what I mean? Like,
I my face up. Yeah,
by the gods.
Yeah,
you know
well, that's one of the cool things about these
protection.
Is they've got these circuit protectors on them It's just a little chip in there that keeps it from overriding. If your coil gets too hot and it senses it, it'll just shut it off. You know what I mean?
And for the people who are gonna, people who are gonna get upset or cry in the comments about, you didn't even tell us what mod you're using. What mod are you using? I'm using the Sigelli 150 and he's using the Sigelli 100, the first version. So it's not the 100 plus, but so I was using that for a long time, and then I got the 150 and I gave him the 100. So he has my hand-me-down.
I think just about every good mod I've used has been a hand-me-down. I'm totally cool with that.
Yeah,
so absolutely.
And he's using the tugboat. It's not the version 2 or the 1, but he has a version 1 drip tip. It's like the version, I think it's called 1.5 or 1.2. It's basically when they put the copper post in, the center copper post in. And yeah, so like, I love that. I used that for a long time. And you see in some of my older videos, that was like all I used because Tugboat is solid. And they just came out with, I wanted to pick those up, the new caps for them. They have slam caps, which shorten them like the Derringers.
Nice. Yeah.
Makes it better flavor.
Yeah.
And then they have one with wider airflow also. I think it's Anarchist cap. I can't remember. I know Suck My Mod. If I can find the video, I'll put it in the description below. And also, So Much Vape, we're talking about the slam caps and stuff, but definitely pick one up. The only problem is, like, I think they're like $39 for a cap, which is kind of like, it's a little bit too much just for an accessory.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Well, we've talked about this before, is like, the one thing that I really can justify getting Authentics for is atomizers. Yeah. Because when it comes to, like, the threading and all of that of how atomizers are built,
and the quality,
that's a really, really important thing. And as someone who works with you know, a lot of high-end materials in like what I do for work, like, I know the value of authentic quality stuff. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like, I've always kind of argued that
even kind of handmade, like most of the Authentics, like, I'm not sure if Flawless does it handmade. They kind of, instead of, it's not handmade, but it's more like they're more keeping an eye on the machines, where it's like
it's real
your large mass machining, they kind of just throw material and it kind of does its own thing, you know? So it's kind of like there's a little bit more quality control in your Authentics. So. But yeah, I mean, there are some clones, like that Fuhattan clone. That's a clone of the Manhattan.
Really quality.
That is, the Fuhattan is a solid mech. It's definitely a solid mech. Yeah, and that's very inexpensive.
I used that for 3 or 4 months, and the button slides, that magnetic button is just perfect, slides in and out. I never had any problems with it. Like, the whole thing was like, I never had it, firing on its own kind of thing.
Yeah, even the build on the outside was a nice grip, and it wasn't scraped. It didn't scratch very well. It wasn't like a paint. It was whatever high quality, like like the stuff they use on stovetops. You know what I mean? Yeah. Or like Rhino liner.
Yeah, it's like an enamel kind of thing.
Yeah, so I don't know why we're even ranting about that, but yeah, definitely. So real quickly, I want to mention I have a giveaway on Instagram, and it's not the one I mentioned at the first beginning of this video. It's a little bit different. What it is I started singing a little bit of a song, and basically what I said is I'll give out a free 30 ml of BRVE liquids, which is it's kind of a group with Vapavet. If you're interested in that, check out the description below, vapavet.org. Basically, they BRV and Vapavet. BRV, actually, all of their proceeds go to Vapavet, and so it kind of funds that. And they help veterans that are trying to quit smoking. They give them full kit setups with liquid, mod, RDA, ready to go. With batteries and everything, and just basically helping enable veterans and just helping out, hoping that maybe the little push will help them get off cigarettes and just make their life just a little bit better. So it's awesome, just to help out the servicemen, and it's basically vaping for a cause. In a sense, it's like, I think it's like Tom's shoes, you know what I mean? It's like 1 for 1. You buy a bottle of e-liquid from them, and they give out 100% profit. So it's usually like with e-liquid, it's almost like a 50% profit. Like wholesale is roughly like $10, I don't know, and then they're gonna sell a 30 mil for anywhere from 18 to 20. So it's a good amount. It's a good amount of profit. And so if you're interested in supporting them, definitely check in the description box below. But this giveaway is going to be giving away a 30 mil from BRV. And I have a few flavors, and they're super good. And all you have to do is finish the song and then tag me in it, and also tag wrong giveaway, tag BRV. And basically, just watch it on Instagram. I start singing, and I'm going to tell you, it's Frank Sinatra's My Way. All you have to do is finish the last part of the song that I started singing. Just sing it, and then tag me on Instagram. Do a video.
Yep.
Look like an idiot, just like I did. I look like an idiot every day on these videos.
Man. You gotta just belt it out.
Just
have a good
do
time.
it. So
do it.
I thought I would in case anybody were like, what was he singing? I have no idea. It was like, oh, nobody knows.
I was born in the 30s. What the hell?
Yeah, no one knows what we're talking about. Yeah, so that's a little Easter egg for anybody who wanted to enter that competition or whatever and you didn't know it. So it's Frank Sinatra, My Way. Go on Instagram at Cloudy Vape. Instagram will be in the description. And sign up, and you could win a 30 mil. It's going to be awesome. Basically, it's pretty much going to be the first person who sings it correctly. First person who sings it correctly and tags me is going to win it. So it's just as quickly as you can do it. And it's been all day, and I haven't had anybody tag me and finish it yet. So get on it. If you're watching this, get on it. It might be over by the time I post this video, but who even knows?
Yeah.
But even if there's multiple winners, like if there's 2 or 3 people who only do it, because it is a weird giveaway, So there's only 2 or 3 people, I'll throw in a couple extra bottles just to make it worth your time. You look like an idiot, so you need to be compensated. That's basically what I'm saying.
Have fun doing it.
Yeah. So I don't know if we have much else to say. I mean, we talked here for about an hour, and I have no idea. There was one other thing I was going to ask you about, but I can't think about it now. Do you have anything you want to say?
I'd just say, I'm totally hyped to be doing this with you. I got to read, almost 50 comments from people that left comments on the last video, and everybody was really positive and cool.
I think that would be perfect. If you guys have any questions for Tuggy over here, or No-Name Nimbus, if you're watching this and you want to ask questions and have him answer questions or have me answer questions, I think it would be better if you have him answer, because he's kind of like the guest. I can answer your questions all the time on all the videos and stuff, but if you have questions directed to him you want to ask, even if it's about him personally, about his tattoos or his nose rings or his what his favorite vape is, anything, just do in the comments. If you ask the question, just do #Tuggy or #Nimbus, or just say that other guy who's not Cloudy. Say whatever you want. If you guys want to ask questions, because I know the last comments people were really excited that they didn't just have to look at me and hear me. Because really, vlogs, and I think Grim Grain does a good job. He does hour-long vlogs weekly. But
it's easy for him to turn into a monologue, I think.
Yeah, but he has so much content, and he probably, unlike us, just rambling, he actually thinks through, I think so. Because he always has good topics to talk about. He kind of shows first looks of products he has.
Yeah. And,
but yeah, when you're doing it by yourself, unless you really try to get out content, you kind of just yap on. And I'm saying this about me. I'm not saying this about other individual vloggers, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And that's why I really like so much Vape, because they have 2 or 3 people on, and even if you can't think of something to say, someone else pipes in and starts talking. I really feel like having a vlog with a dialogue and just us talking is a little bit more, maybe you guys think that, maybe you don't. If you want him out, just say ban Tuggy or something like that. Drop the tug. No more tugging. No more tugging, Cloudy.
Yeah.
That's weird. I don't know. But yeah, so that's probably about an hour. I would say this is about an hour long. And that's it. I have nothing else to say. So thank you again, Tuggy, for coming on and hanging out. And that's it.
Do it.
We'll talk to you later. Peace.
Take care.